Tyrann, big talk of the rebuilding of the defense was also the culture change. You're one of the guys that's been given credit for that. You and Frank, was that something when they signed you that they talked about, that they wanted to change the culture, the toughness? And how do you go about doing that? Do you walk into the locker room one day and make a speech? How did it come about?
I mean, obviously, I think before I got here, it was a point of emphasis to kind of get guys with some attitude, some a little chip on their shoulder. Obviously, I feel like me and Frank bring that in. But it's not anything special we do. I think it's just our character, really how we practice each and every day.
Hey, Tyrann, during the stretch early in the season when you guys lost 3 of 4, what was Coach Spagg's demeanor, and did he do anything different? Did he change? Or what was he like during that stretch?
Well, obviously he was emphasizing certain things that we had to get better at. Felt like it was small stuff, real small details, which I feel like he do a great job of, really being a positive voice for us, very encouraging. We don't feel like he's ever wavered, throughout the season. We feel like he's been the same guy, and I think really that's what's kind of helped us get better as well defensively. Knowing we're walking into a room where someone believes in us, he's encouraging us, and at the end of the day, we're not that far off from, doing some of the things defensively that we wanted to do.
Tyrann, when you go back and study Jimmy Garoppolo's year, you look at the interceptions. Have they mostly been ones where the defense got him, or have there been some bad luck ones? How would you characterize his turnovers, and is it something you guys think you can take advantage of?
Well, I think, first and foremost, they have a great system that they run over there. I feel like Garoppolo is doing a great job really, finding guys that can really take advantage of certain coverages, certain situations. He likes to get the ball out quick, which kind of goes into, the kind of guys that they have on their side of the ball. So, guys that can run after the catch. So it'll be important for us to kind of, disrupt the timing, slow those guys down. He does have, a hard time throwing, in tight coverage. Most quarterbacks do. So I think ultimately that'll be the goal for us to disrupt these guys at the line of scrimmage, play tight coverage, and then try to make a play on the ball.
Tyrann, I'm just curious, obviously you go from LSU to Arizona to Houston, now Kansas City, and you've seemingly grown so much, both personally and professionally. What would this Super Bowl win mean to you just on a personal level for your journey?
I mean, it'll be humbling for me. For me, it's about, the people that's around me, and, really feel so fortunate to be around a great group of guys. But for me, it'll be very humbling to be a Super Bowl champion. I think that's everything you work for in the off season, to be in that position. So I think that's my goal, to try to go out here, help my team win a game, but remain humble.
Tyrann, how has the Super Bowl week been? I mean, you hear about the experience and what it's going to be, and it can be overwhelming for players. How do you think you and your teammates have handled it so far?
I think we've handled it pretty well. We're a really young team. We're vibrant. We're full of energy. We love to live life. A lot of these guys have a lot of passions, outside of football. But I'm really proud of our guys. I feel like, even last week, we took advantage of that work week. We tried to get as much information as possible. And then this week, obviously it's about, fine-tuning on that information that you received. And, I feel like our guys are doing a good job of really just focusing on football, and I think as a leader, that's everything you can ask for from your teammates, to just focus on the game that's ahead and, try your best to prepare the right way.
Tyrann, Troy Polamalu is on the ballot for the Hall of Fame. Just curious what your impressions of him were growing up watching him play.
I mean, Troy was probably the epitome of, playmaking, using your instincts, being football aware, just those football 101 things. I feel like, he was in a different, element when it came to other players. He always, for the most part, made the right decisions. And, we joke a lot about, guessing the right way. Feel like Troy guessed the right way his entire career. His anticipation, just everything he was able to do, even after he caught interceptions, being able to really show the world that athleticism, so I'm so proud for him, so happy for him.
Tyrann, I was talking to Coach Spagnuolo yesterday, and he was talking about your leadership qualities. And one of the things he said, it was a small thing, but you come in early to meetings, you sit in the front row. Have you always been a front row guy, or is that something that kind of happened over your career? And if it wasn't something you did before, when did you kind of pick that up, and why did you do that?
Well, I feel like, I've been inching my way closer as I got older. I can remember my first year in Arizona, I sat in like the third row. So I've always been a front of the room guy. I've always been a kind of football player that, just tell me to call, coach. I took all the notes in meetings, kind of know what's going on. So, I think sitting in the front of the room obviously gives you an advantage, makes you feel like, you're more involved in the process. And, obviously teammates look forward to that. And, you can see those guys scooting up as well. So, for me, it's just trying to be a positive reflection, really, of all the guys that have tried their best to lead me, show me the right way.
Hey, Tyrann, Jacob from Fox Sports Mexico. How cool would it be for you to win the Super Bowl in the same season that LSU won the Natty? And could you talk about your life experience, how in a way it could be inspiring other people off the field and off the field as well, because of everything you've been through to get to this point?
Yeah, I think, well, to answer your first question, so proud of LSU this year, and Coach O, I think, when he inherited that program, I don't think a lot of people would have thought he would put, that program in this position. So hats off to him and, all the coaches and the recruiting staff and, Joe Burrow, all those guys have really, played great football for the program, and not just for the program, but for the state of Louisiana. And I think former players like myself appreciate those guys, appreciate the coaching staff. I think for me, it's all about falling forward, just trying to live my life, taking one day at a time, right? Trying to be in the present. And, I never really try to look forward to the future. I reflect on my past a lot. It gives me great strength and hope and encouragement. But, I try to be where my feet are, and I think that has helped me out a lot. And, I will hope that a lot of kids out there, heard what I just said, because I think we can get caught up in things that are behind us and things that are in front of us. We forget about the now. So, that'll be my message to the kids.
Tyrann, you've given Patrick Mahomes a lot of credit for the way that he's able to lead this team as a quarterback. And not just that, but the way he's been able to do it just 2 years as a starting quarterback in the lead. As the leader of the defense, or one of them, how important is it to have a quarterback who's able to lead the way that Mahomes does?
I mean, it's extremely important. We got a lot of personalities on the team. I feel like every team has great personalities. None of those are greater than a quarterback. I feel like those guys are, obviously right under the head coach, and, I feel like their energy is felt, more than any other position group. I always talk about him just being, such a cool guy, so down to earth, man. And to have all that success, you can kind of forget about, who you are sometimes. I think he stayed true to that. I feel like he's always been a leader. That's how he walks, that's how he talks. And I think as a team, we feed off that. We know that we have a confident quarterback, obviously a quarterback that can get it done athletically, but mentally he's strong. And, so when we're down 24 points or, if it's the fourth quarter and we need a play, we know that our main guy is one of the strongest guys, and I think that gives us great hope.
Tyrann, we talked with Chris Jones yesterday, and he talks all about Sack Nation. I think he ends every sentence with Sack Nation. What is Sack Nation? Who's in, who's out? Tell us about the club.
Yeah, well, apparently, I've been inducted into Sack Nation. I think I have 2 on the season. But I think it's just a group of guys that's, all about getting to the quarterback, right? Those guys take great pride in that, and they've been trying to get better and better as the season goes on. And, I feel like Chris is excited for this game to be able to be healthy coming into it. He's missed a few games for us, but I think he's extremely proud and excited to get on this stage and, really introduce the world to Sac Nation. Yeah.
Tyrann, we talked about this a little bit a couple weeks ago, but there was a point in the season that odds makers had the Chiefs as the favorite to go make a trade for Jalen Ramsey. That's what this team needed. It needed help in the secondary. You finished with one of the top 10 pass defenses, top 10 points allowed. How, as you reflect back, did that motivate you and your unit as a whole in the D backfield, and how much has it evolved since that time?
Yeah, I mean, we've been motivated since we came in here. I think our DB coach, Dave Merritt, he made that clear. This is what we're up against, and it's just us, right? Like, we're the only ones that believe in us. So, really proud of our guys because we really committed ourselves to the process, right? Each and every week, still Super Bowl week. We're still doing the same little things we would have been doing in Kansas City. I've watched rookies come in front of the room, present the proper information. Juan Thornhill. I've watched guys like Dan, Armani Watts come in front of our room, and present the right information. So you could tell that, we've created this culture here on the back end that we're going to win some football games because of our secondary. So that's how we feel.